Dale, Cholo Chucky, los tres chingones, boxing shots to all the chingones y chingonas, man. Cortura Cafe, JC, Dimitro. All right, man. Obviously, it's fight week. This is the time. This is the day, man, that a lot of people have been waiting for. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about a little bit of other things as well, but for the most part, we're going to try to get that stuff out of the way and get to what's going on this weekend. Back, el gran chingón, el mero one, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey Ed, what's going on, man? I'm really excited about tomorrow's fights, man. Let's talk boxing. It's going to be a great event.
Yeah. Mikey should be jumping on here shortly. So whenever he jumps in, hey, we'll throw him right in here, man, right into the Royal Rumble. So, but with that, before we get to what's going on, we're not going to spend too much time on all this other stuff, but let's get into it. David, this past Saturday, the main event, Hitchens versus Chon Zepeda. Zepeda, 34 years old, in there against a young, up-and-coming fighter. Did you see that main event? What was your thoughts? We're pretty big fans of Chon Zepeda. He's 34. I'll tell you what I saw, David, but I want to hear what you saw, man.
You know what? I'm disappointed in Chon. Chon was going for that knockout instead of fighting this guy. Chon's a good boxer. I'm surprised he didn't try to box him. He was going out for that knockout. I think Chon Zepeda, I think he's done. I don't think he's a contender anymore. I think he's going to become a gatekeeper. And I'm sad to say that because I saw a lot of potential, and Chon Zepeda should actually be a champion. He beat Jose Ramirez on that first fight, without a doubt. He beat him. He should have been a champion. But you know what? They gave it to Jose Ramirez. The fight was in Fresno, in his backyard, so they gave it to him. But I think he's going to become a gatekeeper now. Now, Hutchinson, I believe that's his name. You know what? He's going to be a boring fighter. Good fighter if you like the art of boxing, but if you love boxing, throwing chingazos, good fights, you know what? This guy, I don't see him. I don't see him like an attractive fighter where we're going to enjoy. He's going to be more like a Bubu Andrade type.
Oh, okay. And that's not a good thing, man. Let's see what the boxing scientists saw from Chon Zepeda and Hitchens.
All right. How's it going, guys? Dave, what's going on, man? And I have to beg to differ, Dave. I beg to differ. Styles make fights, and that's the fight you have to fight when you fight Zepeda. You have to box him. You have to make it a boring fight, and that's how you beat Zepeda. So I beg to differ, Dave. All right, I'm playing. Yeah, that's how you beat Zepeda. You make it a boring fight. You don't bang with him. And I'll piggyback what Dave said. Yeah, this guy's a boring fighter, but like I said, with all due respect to Dave, I'm just messing around. But still, that's how you beat Zepeda. You have to make it a boring fighter. Don't give him anything. Don't give it, and it's going to be boring. Another fighter that's a total package will beat him with style and will knock him out like Prograis did. He fight on the outside, didn't give him anything, and he knocked him out. So that's the difference. See, this guy's a boring fighter. He should have beat Zepeda, should have knocked him out, but Zepeda's a hard cookie, and yeah.
You know, after the fight, they interviewed him, and he purposely did not want to rumble with him because he said, I felt his power in the first round. So he fought, yeah, you're right, Mike. He fought an intelligent fight. But I have a feeling, I've never seen this guy and even heard of him. But what I know a little bit about him, that he is probably going to be a Bubu Andrade. He's going to be a good technical fighter. But for us Chicanos, us Mexicanos that love chingazos, that love a good match, I don't think he's going to make it to our level, but you know what, he might attract the Bubu Andrade's leftovers.
All right, I'll say this, man.
Yeah,
Hitchens can be and learn some close fights. Otherwise, he's another Regan Dow. My goodness, man. Regan Dow is tough to watch, man.
Yes, it's
tough to watch. Okay, so I like Chon Zepeda. I never thought he was a great fighter. I thought he was a pretty damn good fighter. And at 140, I thought he did stand a chance. You know, I like the fight that he put up against Regis Prograis, man. But look, he's a warrior. But at 34 years old, Mikey, you and I talked about it last week. I'm like, you know what? This young kid, Hitchens, he's fast. He doesn't have power. I was saying that. I said, hey, this kid does not have power. He's not going to stop Zepeda. And I don't think he's going to have many his career. He just does not have that power. I thought it was a somewhat okay of an entertaining fight for the first few rounds. Once we got into the later rounds, I did get bored. I did get bored, and I was just like, you know what? I Zepeda just he's outclassed. He's outclassed.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the speed to keep up, and he's just outclassed, man. It got boring to me. Hitchens, by no means whatsoever am I trying to say he's an exciting fighter. I know people are saying that he's boring and that he's boring. I'm not ready to say that he's that boring yet, but I'm not gonna say he's exciting either. Right now, he's just kind of really there. We're not gonna see a lot of knockouts from this guy. We're gonna see a lot of technical boxing. I don't think he's super boring, but that can definitely change. I thought he boxed a good, a smart fight, and look, he got the victory, man. What does this do for his career? I'm not really sure how far it elevates him. Don't know, but he's 17-0 now, and I think he only's got like 7 knockouts. So
Yeah.
he doesn't bring a lot of excitement, but look, technically he looks pretty good. So we'll see.
Me personally, I'm not looking forward to his next fight.
Okay.
Yeah, I know styles make fights, but I'm not. He's not going to allow a fighter to. He's this guy's going to be another Riga now. And I agree with JC. Snooze fest. But we'll see. I mean, styles make fights. If he fights somebody that's really going to attack him, like Chon, but for whatever reason, Chon did not box that night, and I'm surprised because Chon is not a great boxer, but he's a good boxer. He proved it. Yeah.
Yeah, Chone's a prospect. He's a guy that, like I said, a gatekeeper, someone. There's a prospect. You put him versus Chone, and if you're not good, Chone will beat you. And like we talked about it last week, Chone doesn't have a lot of tools in the toolbox. He's one dimensional. You have to bang with him in order to make it a good fight. Chone doesn't know how to cut ring. He does the same thing, no adjustments, the same thing. And you got to be a total package to face the elite. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Cholo, so were you excited when you saw Conor Benn in there?
That's the next subject.
Man? I mean, were you like jazzed? Were you like totally, I mean, jumping up and down? I mean, tell us, how were you? Really?
That's the next subject. Let's get into it before we get into the fights tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
Connor the Destroyer, how you doing, Pastor Tony Boswell?
Hey, Pastor, how you doing?
Man, listen. Connor the Destroyer Ben is back. He is back, man. And I love it. He makes boxing that much more exciting. The vato's over there speaking Spanish, Espanol, and he's speaking it very well. So I'm like, you know what, man? This guy, we need this guy to stay on this side of the world. I hope, honestly, man, I hope they don't let him fight across the pond yet. I hope they keep on, throwing this, that he's a cheater and all that stuff, so he could keep fighting here, at least for 2 more fights. But he's very exciting. His style is not boring, very fan-friendly. First fight at 154 pounds against Rodolfo Orozco, which I don't really know too much about. But the guy's got a gang of fights, and he's never been stopped. Man, that guy's got a chin on him. Conor Benn landed some great chingazos, and he did not really, he hurt him, but I don't think he really rocked him. I don't think that has to do with Conor Benn's lack of power. I just think that has to do with Orozco's chin. He's never been stopped, man. So I like what I saw from Conor Benn. 18 months out of the ring, first time at 154 pounds. I got no complaints. It was a good, exciting fight. I liked it, man. How say you, Mikey?
Oh man, I really didn't have to pay close attention to Conor Benn, but I know that's your boy, and I was like, let me critique him. Let me see. When Ed picks him, I have to give Ed the counter punch. You know what I'm saying? So, he looked good, man. He looked good. Hasn't fought in a while. I said there was going to be a lot of rim rust. There was some, but man, he fought a big guy, a big Mexican with a big head, and these Mexicans, they come, and Conor, he didn't get tired, man. I seen a little tired, but he was getting it with power after power, and I think he'll do some damage at 54. he'll do some damage at 154. I like what I've seen. He got good work, so we'll see what's next. I like it. I like him.
David?
Do you like him at 154? You want him to go to 147?
Hey man, he looked good at 54. Man, I want. You know what? It's because I want Boots Ennis to get some good fight because that's my boy. That's the next prospect that I like. So if he goes to 47 versus Boots, that's a good fight.
Okay, so he's come out since then, and he said that he's looking to go back down to 47 unless the Chris Eubanks Jr. fight is going to take place. But other than that, he's looking to go back down to 47.
At 47, I see him as a contender. At
Okay.
54, I don't see him as a contender. At 47, I do. If
Okay.
I were him, go up to 157, fight Eubanks. I mean, that was a catchweight before 157, 158, then go back to 147. He'll be a contender, but definitely not at 154. This guy Orozco, nobody's even heard of him. I've never heard of him. And yeah, he has a chin, but I mean, put him up against some of the true 154, he's going to have problems. But at 147, you know what? I'd like to see him fight Rocha. I'd like to see him fight the 147s. I think that would be excellent. And then end up fighting Boots. But at 154, I'd like to actually see him get his feet wet with Virgil Ortiz. That would be an awesome fight because Virgil's never fought at 154. His next fight will be at 154. Hey, let them both get busy. You know? What do you think?
Wow, Ed's heart just got broken. Dave, why'd you do that to him, man? His heart just got broken. Dos mujeres, un camino.
Yeah. Don't make
think?
me choose. Don't make me choose, man, between Virgil Ortiz and Connor the Destroyer Ben, man. Look, I think he can do some good work at 154. Orozco, you're right, David. I've never heard of him either. The guy's 24 years old. He almost
Oh,
has 40,
really? I thought
yeah.
he was older than that.
No, he
Okay.
almost has 40 fights. The guy has a lot of fights, man. And I'll go ahead and I'll tell everybody this. I think Orozco got a little bit notoriety on this fight, and now people are probably a little bit more interested in his next fight. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh man, I'm waiting for this guy to fight next, but next time if he fights, man, and I can't, and I'm available, I'm like, hey, yeah, I kind of want to see what this guy brings, man, because I don't really know too much about him. He looked all right, and the chin that he has and the pressure to keep on moving forward, he Connor couldn't really keep him off of him.
But you know what, Ed? That shouldn't surprise you. There was a reason why they picked Orozco. That's the reason why we've never heard of him. That was probably supposed to be an easy fight for Connor Ben at 154. I mean, they were going to put him in there with a lion. I mean, Connor Ben hasn't fought close to 2 years now. What, 18, 19, 20 months? So I think that Orozco surprised Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn wasn't going to bring him to America to fight somebody that they were gonna. It wasn't supposed to be as hard as a fight, I believe, as it was with Orozco. So there's a reason why we had never heard of him, but now we saw him. So like I said, Connor Ben, let him fight this other guy at 148. I mean 158, and then have him come back to 147. He will definitely be a contender at 147.
Okay. Wherever he goes, 54, 47, man, everybody better watch out, man, because Connor Ben is back. So,
Yeah.
hey, with that, real quick, just real quick, man. There's rumors out there. There's a few shaky little sources talking about that Usyk and Fury is made for December. I'm not gonna go on record and saying, hey, that fight is signed sealed, man. So, but apparently that's the word out there. Mikey, what do you make of that? Do you believe it? Do you not believe it?
Yeah, I mean, Ed and Dave, you know how boxing is, but I want to believe it. I want that fight because Usyk won't stand a chance versus Fury. Fury's a man. He's the face at heavyweight. No one could beat him. No one could beat him. Little Usyk, he can't beat him, man. So I can't wait to prove all these people that say that Usyk is gonna beat him, this and that. Nah, man. Fury will beat him. He's too big, and that's his real weight. He's a real heavyweight.
Okay. David, not sure if I believe it. But apparently they're aiming it at December that this sucker is signed. Again, don't want to report that it is. Just telling everybody what a few sources are saying. Does this fight happen, David? Does it happen in December? I
Well,
mean,
you know what
Fury still has a fight with this MMA dude in
yeah,
October. Yeah.
that's what I was looking. Isn't it like October 21st? He's having a fight. I
Yes.
mean, I did read that, and I read it from some very good sources that usually don't come out. And it's set for the new year, January or February. When it's supposed to be, I guess, in Saudi Arabia somewhere. So I believe it, but they said it's signed, sealed, and delivered. But I don't know how you could have it signed, sealed, delivered. What if Fury loses? I know he's not, but I mean, how can you sign a fight with a belt if he loses it? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, with that said, I don't care who put it up. I don't believe it because I don't think that they can guarantee a win, even though we know he's fighting a MMA fighter. He's going to win, but still, I don't see it. But I mean, once again, Fury's probably under the influence again, and he got on the internet or got on Twitter and started throwing stuff out, and everybody's talking about it. Let's see after the 21st or when he fights this MMA fighter, and then if it comes out again, then I'll believe it. I'm not. Am I excited about it? No, not really. I'm more excited about tomorrow, to be honest with you, than Usyk and Fury. But I'm not excited. But even if it does happen, I'm not excited about it.
You know what, dude? You bring up a good point right there, man. I'm gonna be real with everybody. Do I want this fight to happen? Yeah, I do. But if it doesn't happen, to me, it doesn't really do too much for me. I'm like, okay, well then it didn't happen. Yeah, for one reason or another, I'm not that super excited. I'm not one of those guys that, hey man, this fight has to happen. Fury versus Usyk to unify the titles. Sure, fine, why not? But just for me to see these two guys go in there and go at it, if I had a vote, do I want it to happen or not? Yes, I would vote yes. But I'm not gonna live and die on that hill where I'm like, man, this fight has to happen. If it doesn't happen, if it never happens, it's not gonna bother me that much as opposed to other fights. It's not gonna
Yeah.
bother me too much. But I agree with you, Mikey. If it does happen, I got Fury all the way. It's a little bit strange. It's a little bit odd to me that they're going ahead and they're announcing this when Fury still has a fight,
Yeah.
you know, somewhat
And,
with the MMA guy in October. And then what? Just a month and a half later, you're supposed to have a unification world heavyweight bout. It's it. I won't. I don't believe it until it happens.
And Ed, it's sanctioned. This fight in
Yeah.
on the 21st. How can they sanction a fight with a guy who's never had a boxing match in his life, but yet they're sanctioned? It'll be on the
yeah, that's
record.
bull.
That I
That's
mean,
bull.
come on, man. Yeah, yeah. I'm not
Yeah.
looking
You know
forward
which what fight I like? It's
to it.
the Chinese guy, the six
Oh,
six six
same,
seven.
same.
Well,
Yes,
versus
this
Usyk or
weekend it could
versus
be big.
Tyson
Yeah,
Fury. That's
that
a
would be a
great
good
fight.
fight.
I like
Yeah,
that guy.
I
I
like
like
that.
what I see. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and at 40 years old, man, he's got to hurry it
And you
up.
know what? That Chino is like, what is he, 6'7", 6'9"? I mean,
Yeah.
when do you see a Chino that big? So yeah, that tells you a lot, man. You know what? I can't wait for that one. Be a good
That's a
one.
good fight. Matching with
Yeah.
either or. Great fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll definitely be good. So, all right, man. So let's go ahead and let's get into what is going on tomorrow, man. Um, this should have been taking place on Mexican Independence Day. It did not. But oh well. It's a good card all the way around. Pay-per-view material, I think it is. Before the pay-per-view card takes place, I don't know if anybody knows this, but the heavyweight Frank Sanchez, he's fighting not in the undercard, but in the prelim fights. So definitely want to see a little bit more from this guy. David, are they using Frank Sanchez? Shouldn't this guy be a little bit more of a star already? He's not even in the undercard. He's not even the first fight in the pay-per-view undercard. He's in the prelim, Tom's. Like, what's it going to take to start getting this guy up there? I mean, when people talk heavyweights, nobody even mentions Frank Sanchez.
Ed, there's 11 fights. I'll tell you right now, I can't go because of personal matters. I would have paid to be at that event. I really would. I would have flown to Vegas. I would have been sitting Sky or wherever I got some good tickets at a good price. There's 11 fights in this card. When have you heard of 11 fights? And I did my homework on the majority of these fighters over this week. These fighters are either signed by Canelo or they're signed by PBC. But the Canelo fights, there's one guy in particular, aquí lo tengo right here, Gabriel Valenzuela. Dude, I've seen him fight on the zone before I got rid of the zone. I don't have it anymore. I see him fight on the zone. This kid is from Guadalajara. This kid's a good fighter. I think he has 2 losses. One of them, believe it or not, was to El Camarón Cepeda. That was one of his losses. Camarón Cepeda. I mean, Camarón. Yeah, El Camarón.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, all these guys, Olisander, Goffkit, a lot of these guys are signed with Canelo, and these guys are from or Kazakhstan, whatever, up in Russia somewhere. This is Justin Veloria. These are good fights, and so I'm deciding if I'm going to see the fights on Fight, pay-per-view, or Showtime. Whomever is going to allow me to see the other 10 rounds, 10, I mean, the other nine fights, because they're good fights. You know what I mean? And I mean, now to answer your question regarding Frank Sanchez, he's good. I like to see Frank Sanchez fight that young man from, I always forget his name, from Tulare, Torres.
Oh, yeah, Richard
You know what
Torres.
I mean? Have him fight Torres or have him fight Baby Anderson. I think he's at that level now. You know what I mean? I think if they put him in the ring with those guys, we're definitely going to see a lot more of Frank Sanchez. But a lot of these guys, like I said, Frank Sanchez or I'm not sure if he still is, trained by Eddie Reynoso.
Yeah.
But all these guys are trained by Eddie Reynoso. So this whole card, I'm telling you, man, it is a great card, outstanding card. The whole card. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's fighting a heavyweight, Scott Alexander. I don't know
Never
much
heard of him.
about him.
Mm.
Mikey, I mean, dog, this guy keeps winning. Is it he doesn't have personality? Are they just marketing him wrong? This guy is in the prelims. He can't even be in the undercard and get a little bit of shine. What's up with Frank Sanchez, man? And what do you think of him as a heavyweight?
Yeah, once upon a time, Sanchez was the people were speaking about him like, oh, this is the heavyweight, the Cuban guy that was with Canelo, oh, this and that. But man, it just Frank Sanchez is plain and simple boring. He fights from the outside. He does knock out some fighters, but he's boring. He doesn't give us what we want. What heavyweights, how heavyweights fight. He's not a banger, and he'll school some fighters. He'll beat Baby Anderson. He'll beat the kid from Tulare. I think Frank Sanchez will give him a boxing lesson. But the thing is that Frank Sanchez is boring. We talk about boring fighters. What fight do you remember Frank Sanchez had a memorable fight? He's been fighting for a little bit now, and he was I don't know if he's promoted by Canelo, but he was getting trained by Eddie Reynoso, and he left. I don't know if he came back, and he's boring, man. Frank Sanchez. I try to give him a chance. I watch his fights, and he's 42 years old. I don't know Cubans. You know the Cubans. You can't really tell.
They lie about their age. He's probably 60.
They're lying about. Yeah, he's 60.
Yeah.
He's a southpaw. He fights from the outside. He doesn't give you anything. He'll give you a boxing lesson. He will give you knockout if there's not too much of a risk. So plain and simple, Ed, to answer your question, he's boring. He's boring.
Yeah, okay. Demetrius, you're right.
Demetrius saying he's the guy heavyweight Hitchens.
Yeah.
There's something to it. I think maybe people were starting to talk about him because he was part of the Canelo camp. I'm not sure if he is or isn't. I haven't even really been following his career anymore, man, just because he just kind of faded away. And it's like, man, I don't even really care about his fights anymore. But I try to watch him, and he wins. He's a pretty good boxer. I think he can do some good work. But yeah, Mikey, you bring up a good point, man. I don't think people are that interested outside of the fact that he was with Reynoso in the Canelo camp. Whether he still is or isn't, I'm not even really sure. But yeah, I was just watching the weigh-ins, and I'm like, dog, this guy's fighting like he can't even be in one of the undercards, man. He's in the prelims. So, and those prelims should be on regular YouTube. You should be able to watch them on the YouTube app for free, those prelims. But yeah, we'll see if he wins. Um, if Frank Sanchez wins, which he should, do you think we'll start seeing a lot more from him, David?
No, no, I agree.
It'll be the
He's
same.
a boring fighter. You know what I mean? I mean, put him in with somebody that we enjoy watching. Put him in with Torres. Put him in with Baby Anderson. Put him in with some. I mean, who's this guy that he's fighting? What's his name? Scott
Scott
Alexander. Who the heck
Alexander.
is that? But
Yeah.
what I like, it's a 10 round fight, and we're not going to probably see a knockout. It'll be a boring fight. But I mean, after Gabriel Valenzuela, after the other ones, I mean, people are probably that's a time to go get a beer. That's the time to go stand in line and get popcorn. You know what I mean? Because the next one, Elijah Garcia, man, that's a good one. Even Mario Barrios against Ugas, not that excited. Ramos, excited. And I know you're going to get there. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
we're
it.
gonna get to all of
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Mikey, if Frank Sanchez wins, do we start seeing more of him, or his career just stays the same?
He needs to get a sensational knockout, maybe to start. Oh my God, look at the knockout! But he needs a dance partner. It's time. It's about that time for him to put him up with someone a big name. He needs a big name. Fighting with Wilder. Where's the tatted El Gordo con tattoos on his nalgas? What's the name?
Reed,
Oh,
Andy.
Andy
yeah,
Reeves.
yeah. That would
Yeah,
be a good
that
fight.
would
Andy.
be
Yeah.
good. That would be good. Yeah, that
But
would be.
Andy wants $10 million. They're not going to give him
Yeah, yeah,
$20
that's the
million
thing.
dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, the risk and the reward. He might give and Andy Reese a boxing lesson, and then what? You don't get any. He doesn't get any more money. So, yeah, the risk and reward versus if you fight him, he is boring and he might beat you in the outside, and then what? And what? What do you get if you lose to him? Or yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think about him.
Yeah,
He's
Hey,
boring.
Mikey, what did you call me? Ese gordo con tattoo en las nalgas?
Yeah, el gordo con tattoos en las nalgas.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
I will say this, man. I think his
Uh,
career is gonna stay exactly the same. So,
mm.
but with that, gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's move on to the actual pay-per-view card, man. I think we got some really good ones, man. It starts off at the middleweight division, 160 pounds, with Armando Resendiz versus undefeated Elijah Garcia, who's only 20 years old, 15 wins, 12 of them by knockouts, no defeats. I mean, this kid looks promising. He looks good, man. Both of them, even Resendiz, they both look very confident. They both came in shape. They both made weight pretty easily, and they both look ready to rock and roll. David, what's your thoughts about this opening fight, man?
You know what? I've never heard of Elijah Garcia or Armando Resendiz, but what I'm reading about Garcia and Resendiz, I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an excellent fight. What weight are they fighting at, Ed? Do you know?
160 middleweight.
Oh, so they're pretty big boys.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait. Who trains Garcia? And who is he? What banner is he under? Is he under PBC or Canelos? Do you know?
That I don't know. That I'm not sure of. Yeah, I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let us know, man. But I'm not sure. But Resendiz, I believe, has 2 defeats. I'm not sure, but Garcia, this is a fight basically kind of to make him or break him. See if this kid is the real deal or not. He's 15 wins with 12 knockouts, so the kid's definitely got some power behind him. So
And you know what? We need some good Chicanos at 160. We don't have any right now. The last one that we had, Mexicano, was ¿cómo se llama? Munguia. And now he's at 168. I mean, we don't have. Oh, actually, we do. We have. He's not at that level yet, but he will be soon. We have the young man from Moreno, not Moreno Valley, from Murieta, Raul Lizarraga. He's having a big fight in November. He's 11-0, and he's 160. And so we do have one good contender. That'd be a good fight in the future at
yeah,
160.
yeah, I have seen Elijah fight before. I was checking out his highlights and things that he's done. He looks like a promising kid, man. The kid looks solid. I agree with you, Demetro. Mikey, have you been checking
Okay,
these
good.
guys out, man? Elijah Garcia or Armando Resendiz?
To tell you the truth, that I seen a little bit, but I don't really know. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open and see who he is. But yeah, what you're saying, there's a kid that they were showing a lot of videos of him that they want to make him a star. He's marketable, and but I don't really know a lot, so I can't really tell you. I have to watch the fight, and I'm gonna critique him and tell you what I see. But as for now, I really don't know him.
Yeah, Impala, Armando Toro. He's no pushover, man. I got Elijah as well. I think this is gonna be one heck of a damn great fight, man. And
Can't wait.
I got Elijah Garcia winning by stoppage, man. I think he actually stops Resendiz. Not because Toro's a punk or anything like that, but because I think Garcia is that damn good. And we're gonna see him, get some shine, man, because this kid looks good. He looks solid, he looks very promising. He's still very young. This kid is gonna be something else, man. I got my
You've seen him fight before, Ed? Ed?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Who
yeah.
did he fight? Who did he fight? Do
I
you
don't
remember?
know his opponents. He hasn't really been fighting anybody solid, but just from the look of him, from the way his footwork and all that good stuff, he looks like a really good, promising young kid, man. He
Did
really
he
does.
fight on the zone? The fights that you saw was there on the zone? Because I mean, I don't
He
remember
fought. Let me
seeing
see.
him.
He fought in the undercard of.
Ooh, I don't
Oh
remember ever
man,
seeing him.
no, yeah, no, he's fought, man. He fought in the undercard of somebody. I don't know who. Where exactly I saw him. But then when this fight came up, I started looking into some of his fights. So he looks like a good, promising young kid, David. I'm telling you, man. And at
Yeah. Well, I can't
160,
wait. Yeah,
he's definitely gonna make some noise. I'm telling you
I can't
guys,
wait.
man. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out on this kid. Moving along, we have El Azteca Mario Barrios against you, Dennis Ugas. What's up, Puerto Rican Rum? I like this fight. I do, man. I think this is gonna be one heck of an action-packed fight. I like both of these guys. Ugas sometimes can be a little bit boring. Barrios, I think, brings it, man. David, talk to us, man. Doesn't seem like you really like this fight too much.
You know what, bro? I'm not excited, man. I mean,
Okay.
Ugas, um, I mean, you put him in with Spence. I mean, Barrios is at no level where Spence is. You know what I mean? When he fought Manny Pacquiao, yes, he beat him, but Barrios is nowhere near Manny Pacquiao or Spence. I see Barrios, dude. I had never even heard of Barrios until he fought Tank Davis at 140. You know what I mean? Now he's at 147. He's fighting on this big. I would have loved to have seen Keith Thurman, Boots Ennis against Ugas. I mean, give him somebody that we know is going to give him a challenge. I don't see Barrios, dude. I don't see Barrios giving him much of a problem. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy's been with. You can't compare Barrios to Spence, and you definitely can't compare him to Manny Pacquiao. I know Manny Pacquiao's 85 years old. You know what I mean? Pero I don't know, man. I mean, I don't. I'm not that excited about it like I am for Ramos and Eric Stubin. Now that one I am, but this one, I just wish they would have given Ugas more of a challenge. You know what I mean? Because Ugas has been in with some pretty tough fighters. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope it's a great fight.
All right,
I'm paying for it. You
okay.
know.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
this, David. Even after a 16-month layoff and coming off of a loss, he
Yeah,
still should be fighting somebody, is a big contender.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, he's get paid good money. He's been a champion before. I mean, he was a champ. He beat Pacquiao. I mean, I don't care if it's a. I mean, look at Charlo. It's a 16-month layoff. Same thing. I mean, literally, it's been 16 months
and
since
he's
his
getting
last,
knocked out.
and he's fighting Canelo. You know what I mean? So no, even if it's a 16-month, he should be fighting. I would love to have seen him on this card against Boots Ennis. I mean, they're both 147. I would have been excited for that fight. I said Thurman because I threw that name out, but Boots Ennis, dude, that would have been a great fight. Great fight. And I got
I,
Boots on that
I
one.
love it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh
I
yeah,
like Boots.
All right,
Yeah.
Mikey Ugas,
yeah.
16-month
I
layoff,
mean,
coming off of a
yeah.
loss. Mario Barrios coming off of a win. All right, what
Mhm.
what do you got on this, big dog?
Yeah, I understand why they gave him Barrios. He's a name. He's good. He's not great. He's okay. He's good. He's a name and he's a banger. And Ugas, man, he was in the ring with Porter. He was in the ring with Pacquiao. He was in the ring with
Spence.
Spence. He took a beating with Spence, and we're gonna see if he's okay.
Yeah.
He took a beating. Sometimes you'd rather get knocked out than take a beating like that. He took a beating. His face looked beat. He took a beating. So we're gonna see how Ugas looks, and Ugas should win the fight. It should be some pretty good work. But Ugas, if Ugas wins the fight, they're gonna put him in with my
Boots.
boy
Boots.
Boots Ennis, or there's 147 pounders, so they're taking care of Ugas. He's a name, and he is excited. He's a Cuban, but not a typical Cuban that boxes from the inside. He's a banger, got the high guard, and boom, boom, and he has skill. Like I said, he went against Porter, he went against Pacquiao, and he went against Spence. And he did hit Spence, and he did almost knocked out Spence. He got him drunk a couple of times. So I like Ugas. Once upon a time, I was a big on Ugas. I think this like I said, this is a fight for him to come back and to look good, and then they're gonna throw him in with Boots or a big name. Yeah.
Oh man, you know what, Mikey, David, you guys know I love you guys as my brothers, man. You guys are my nationalists, but you waffles are tripping, dogs.
What?
I'm
Oh,
telling you
no.
guys, man. Barrios, man, you guys are sleeping on Barrios, man. Barrios struggled at 140 because he's a big
Yeah.
frame dude, right? So he had to suck down to make
Mhm.
140. All right. Now he's at 147. Now, I do not want to oversell Barrios and say, like, man, this bato's all that and a bag of chips, homie, because he's not. But let's not make it. If this is a fight to take care of Ugas, somebody dropped the ball. This is not taking care of Ugas, homie. I got Mario Barrios winning this fight, man.
Really?
Actually, let me tell you guys what I
Wow.
got. Okay, let me tell you guys what I got. I got it going all the way to decision and people believing that Barrios won the fight. Maybe something a little bit like Tank and Pitbull Cruz, right? Like Barrios gave him a good fight. Barrios gave him all he can handle, but they still scored it for Ugas, and it's gonna be a little bit of a controversy decision. But I'll tell you guys this, man. You guys are sleeping on my boy Mario El Azteca Barrios, man. This guy has filled his body.
What?
He's filled his body up, man.
Hey, hey,
He's not draining himself to make 140 anymore. He's had a fight at
Yeah, yeah.
147 already. He looked good. Ugas
hey,
coming
Ed.
off a 16-month layoff, getting his ass kicked. I'm telling you guys, man. You guys are
Mhm.
sleeping on
Yeah,
Barrios.
yeah.
Ed, answer me this question. You're a big Mario Barrios fan, and you believe in him. He's just won. Tell me who he just beat without
Oh
looking. Tell
man.
me. You're his fan. I mean, you know him.
No.
You
Wait.
believe in him. You've
I
seen him.
do
You
I
believe in him.
do
Tell
no.
me who he just beat without
I
looking.
No, I do believe in him in
I
this
know, but who did he just beat? Who did he just beat
Oh
without
man.
speaking?
Somebody let me know.
Yeah.
Somebody let me know.
No,
Somebody
it
let
ain't
me know.
nobody that we know.
And
It ain't
they,
nobody that
I
we
do
know.
remember the fight. No, I
Tell
do
me
remember
who.
the fight. I do remember the fight. I
Yeah.
don't remember the opponent, but I do
No,
remember
dude.
the fight at
Yeah, I'm
147.
telling you. I mean, even at 147, I mean, he's a gatekeeper. But you know what? Please make a believer out of me. I want to see the best. I'm paying for this, so I want to see the best. But hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. But I can't see him beating Ugas. Not right now.
Okay.
unless Ugas is washed, gentlemen,
Unless
unless
if he's
Ugas is
what?
washed,
Yes,
like
yes,
Is Ugas not
he's
a
gonna walk
gatekeeper
through him.
at this? Is
yeah.
is Ugas not a gatekeeper at this moment?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I want to see him at this fight. Before this fight, no, I didn't see him as a gatekeeper. I mean, he fought against Spence. That was a good fight. He went 12 rounds with him. He fought against Pacquiao. He fought against Porter. He
Order.
actually beat Porter. He
Yeah.
actually beat Porter. I had him winning. No way. I don't see him. But you know what? After that last beating, I'm gonna see this time. I'm gonna see. I haven't seen him since that last beating, so he might turn into a gatekeeper. And you know, these Cubans, he might be 60 years old as far as we're concerned. I don't know how old he is. You know what I mean? So I don't know. After this fight, I'll see it. But right now, I don't see him as a gatekeeper. But after this fight, I'll definitely answer and say yes or no. but I want to see
And
this fight.
and there's great matchmaking. From what I know about Barrios isn't a knockout artist, is he? No,
No,
right? He don't have power, does he?
No, he
So
doesn't. He doesn't have extreme
no.
power like that. No.
yeah, so this is a good fight for like I said for Ugas. He just came from a beating. He does have the
He
skill,
did.
and he went in the ring. But what if he's washed and Barrios just slaps the shit out of him? So this is we're gonna see what Ugas is gonna show up. Daniel Barrios is not elite, but if Ugas is admitted, he's gonna kick his ass and go 12 win the decision. So this is a fight for Ugas to see where he's at because he's a great name. Barrios, I don't think he could beat any top 147. I don't think so.
No.
No, and that's not what I'm saying. By the way, David, I looked it up. He beat Giovanni Santiago. I remember that match. I remember that fight. He stopped him. He stopped
You stopped him?
Santiago. Yes, yes, he did, man. You guys are okay. I'm not a believer in Ugas anymore.
Okay.
He was 35 years old when he fought Spence. So what is he now? He's 37 years old, 36, 37, somewhere around there. I just no, man. I look, if we were Mario Barrios versus Ugas, or Ugas that fought Sean Porter a few years ago, then yeah, I would probably just say, like, you know what, Ugas, man. But there's an older Ugas, there's an Ugas that took a beating. Nah, dog. The
Yeah.
younger Mario Barrios, who's finding himself at 147 pounds. I got Mario Barrios, man. I'm not saying it hands down is gonna be Barrios, but I got Barrios, man. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with that. David, moving on to the one that you're looking forward to, man.
Yeah.
Erickson Lubin at 154 pounds versus Mono Ramos. Mono Ramos, hey, man, this dude looks good, man. Erickson Lubin is a straight warrior. You remember the big fight he had with Sebastian Fundora? Looked like his face was broken all over the place. And then he comes back and he looks great. He looks great. I was like, I don't know, man. I think they knocked the soul. I think the entire Inferno Fundora knocked the soul out of Lubin, Erickson Lubin. He didn't. He came back and he looked great. And now he's in this fight, man. Both of these guys fought this year, both of them coming off of wins, both of them stopping their opponents in their wins this year. They're meeting up at 154. David, man, what do you make about this co-main event?
You know what, Ed? I've liked Jesus Ramos since the first time I saw him. He's from something Grande, Puente Grande, or something in Arizona, right? Some place called something Grande, Casa Grande, I think. This kid, his Theo used to train. He used to train with his Theo, and his Theo lost about 2 or 3 fights ago. But this Jesus Ramos, I like him. The dude has a huge back. The dude, he's not a technical fighter, but he's a pressure fighter, and he fights like a Mexicano. Le entra de corazón. And you know what? I'm more excited about this fight, believe it or not, than the Canelo and Jermel, because I know that this one right here, there ain't going to be no turning back. From round one, I don't even think these guys are going to try to time each other. I think they're going to go in and it's going to be on. And I think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. I think it's going to be this one I think it's going to be, chingazos from round one. And the best man's going to end up standing. And I'm hoping that it's Jesus Ramos. I'm excited about this kid at 154. I really am.
Yeah. Mikey, what do you make of this co-main event, big dog?
Yeah, I know a little bit of Lubin. The last time that I seen him, I didn't see his last fight, but he got his ass kicked. So they're both bangers. The only thing I got to say is if you're a banger versus a banger, the smart banger is gonna win the fight. So
yeah,
let's see who knows who can bang, but who could use their brains also. So it's not just tirar chingados a lo menso. It's there's strategy to this when it comes to these chingazos and Mexicano. Oh man, that bangs. And Lubin likes to bang, so it's gonna be gunpowder. So I'm excited for this one. I hadn't to tell you the truth, I haven't really checked it out, but I am excited for this fight for sure.
Yeah, well, Mono Ramos has 20 fights, 20 wins, 16 of them by knockout, man.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And by the way, just to be fair, Erickson Lubin, he's got 25 wins, and 18 of those are by knockout. So These two guys, man, they're gonna go in there. They're gonna get it on. I'm kind of with you, David, that I'm very excited for this. I don't know if I'm more excited. Look, I'm excited for Barrios and Ugas. I'm not telling. I'm just
Ese
being
güey
real,
está
man.
muy
I am. But
I got
look,
Ramos KO too.
Mono
Mhm.
Ramos, I definitely got him winning this fight. I think he wins by stoppage. I do. It's just,
Really? Yeah.
yeah, I think that is just the way he fights, man. I think he stops him. Lubin, I don't think. I think they throw in the towel. Serio, I think they throw in the towel or the referee stops the fight. Lubin himself is not gonna quit. The guy would rather die before he quits. But and I don't think he gets knocked out and he doesn't get back up. Maybe he does get knocked down and he gets back up and he's wobbly and the referee stops it. But either the corner or the referee, waves it off, man. But Mono Ramos, I'm telling you guys, man, at 154, this kid looks really, really damn good, man. So
And you know what, Ed? He reminds me, Mikey, of the old Mexican fighters, the Ruben Olivares. I know that, he's at 154, not at 112 like Olivares was, or 108, 115. But this guy just has a lot of heart. He comes in low and he comes in. I mean, it's going to be, I really like the way he fights. I like his style. And I think it's going to be a great fight. I really do.
And God, just real quick, don't quote me on this, but I think it's Mono Ramos. I'm gonna look it up. I think he was talking trash about Canelo. So if he was, I hope this guy gets knocked out, man.
Oh,
He
he
was
never
talking
talked
trash.
Canelo. I
Oh,
don't
so it
remember.
wasn't him. It was somebody on that card.
This
All
guy,
right.
this guy Ramos, he's very quiet, very
Okay.
respectful. He never even talks. I mean, they have to literally pinch him to talk. He's very respectful.
Okay,
he's
that's not him
very
then.
respectful. No, it's not him.
All right.
all
I
right,
was
wait,
gonna
wait,
get
wait,
on
wait, wait,
that.
wait, wait, Mikey, you would want him to get knocked out because he was talking smack about Canelo. He fights at
Yeah.
154, dog. How
Yeah,
about
I
how
know.
about he wins, and at some point down the road he fights Canelo?
Canelo
No,
ain't
he's
gonna give him
coming
that.
down.
You gotta earn your keep against Canelo.
Okay.
The cash
Yeah.
cow, the face of boxing, the Uno, that's gonna fight tomorrow. Oh, come on, man. Come on, Ed. He's not gonna give no one a chance. You gotta earn your keep. You gotta earn your chance.
I got you.
Oh
I
yeah.
got you, man. I got you.
Oh
That's
man.
funny, man.
Can't wait.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't see who who was talking like that. But anyway, gentlemen,
One of them was talking trash.
Really?
yeah,
I didn't know about
we got this one coming
Ooh.
up tomorrow, man. The main event. I watched the weigh-in today. Man, what do you guys think of it? David, I'll start with you. Just the build-up, the weigh-in. Did you see anything in the weigh-in that kind of changed your mind going into this fight at all?
You know what, Ed? I didn't see the weigh-in, so I
Okay.
can't be quoted on it. I didn't get a chance to see it. But when we start talking about the fights, I got a couple of pointers. But yeah, I didn't see the weigh-in. How was it? Was it good? Was it all right?
I mean, it was a little lackluster. There is something that I saw though. Well, Mikey, did you see the weigh-in, man? Did you see anything that you liked that you didn't like?
I didn't catch the weigh-in, but I saw the arrivals the day before or the final press conference, and Canelo these made him look stupid, dude. First of all, when they faced off, Charlo was shaking. He put his hat backwards and he started shaking. And then when they were talking, Canelo was going, man, and people were just laughing at Charlo. They were laughing. Well, Canelo, he's a great fighter, but I'm a lion, and Canelo was like, man, he totally made him look like a fool. Canelo's been to the pinnacle. He's been to this dance before. This guy looks like a little kid that's nervous, that never been here before. And that psychologically will take you to the fight. But I didn't see the weigh-in. So Ed, tell me what you saw, and I'll tell you my opinion.
You know what, Mikey? What you were explaining right there is pretty much. I thought you were talking about the weigh-in because
Okay.
Jermell Charlo looked nervous. Even when they interviewed him afterwards, just the way he was talking, how he kept looking down, and he looked just out of place, man. He looked nervous. Canelo, obviously, man, he's been there plenty of times. He was as cool as a cucumber. He came out looking like a canary, dressed in all yellow. But Charlo, man, he looked he looked out of place. He looked nervous. I don't want to say he looked scared, but he did look a little bit nervous, man. I was like, I don't like his body language, man, especially, if you're really picking him to go in there and do some damage. Let me see if I could said it here somewhere, but he just when he was being interviewed, and the stare down right there, you can't really tell too much. But okay, look, he's being interviewed. Look at his body language.
He's hiding. He's
Yeah,
hiding.
he keeps looking around. He keeps, blinking a lot. He can't stand still. He's got like this nervous smile. He looks concerned, man. He just looks concerned to me.
Dave, what do you see? You're the detective. You've been there before. You're like Canelo. You've been there before. What do you see, Dave?
I like this Charlo a lot better than the old phony Charlo. We're lions. You can't understand a word he says. He's being very respectful to Canelo. You know what I mean? I'm really surprised because I thought we were going to see the old gangster, wannabe gangster. He was never a gangster, wannabe gangster. But I've seen a big change in him in this fight. I agree with you, Ed. He is in over his head when it comes to when the lights come. He's never been in a show this big. And I think that that's going to affect him psychologically. I think he's already being affected psychologically because he hasn't been there yet. You know what I mean? He's been in big moments, but not at this. He's never been at this level. But you know what? He has nothing to lose. He's like when Canelo fought Mayweather. Canelo had never been. He was 22, 23, never. Mayweather was 36, had never been there. But he has nothing to lose. If he loses, he's still a champion. If he loses, he lost to the best. You know what I mean? So I see him very confident saying, hey, I have nothing to lose. If I lose, I lost to the best. And I'm still a champion. I'm coming back. I don't see him scared. I just see him like, I have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? I don't see him nervous. I just see him, I have nothing to lose. He's going to win either way. That's my opinion. He has nothing to lose. He's making 20, 30 million dollars that he never would have made nowhere else. So yeah, no, I don't see him nervous or anything. Just let's take care of it,
Yeah. I saw him nervous. I saw him out of place,
Really?
man, just the way
Yeah.
he was. But Mikey, how does this fight go down, man?
I'm gonna agree with what's saying. Yesterday, I was talking to my little cousin, and I thought about it. Said, you know what? I'm gonna see Canelo knocking him out in 10. I'm gonna say 10. In 10 rounds, Canelo not gonna knock him out. He's really a 154 pounder. He's moving up, like we said. And a keys to victory for Charlo, real quick. He has to keep Canelo on the outside. He has to have a phenomenal jab, not just a great jab. A straight jab, different variation of the jabs, the up jabs, a half jab, fake with the jab. You have to jab out, just different types of look with the jab and keep Canelo on the outside. And definitely do not go to the ropes. When Charlo fought Castano hit him with 40% of his power punches. So imagine if Canelo hits him with 40% of his power punches. He's gonna go to sleep, man. He's gonna go to sleep. And like I said, definitely he has to have great footwork. That's the blueprint how to beat Canelo, right? Keep Canelo on the outside, great footwork. Do not catch Canelo shots, because you know what happens if you catch Canelo shots. You're still gonna feel it, and your arms are gonna go down. That's when he'll chop you up. Definitely, he has to have great footwork. Keep him on the outside, and if he does come in, move to the side, move out. Great footwork, and that is the only way to have good footwork is, like I said, with the jab. The jab opens your offense, the jab opens your defense. So he has to have that great jab, but not just a regular jab, a different variation type of jabs. Canelo's gonna do what Canelo's gonna do. Body shots, chop him down, then knock him out. Oh yeah.
David, what happens in this fight?
Bivol gave everybody the ingredient on how to beat him. Charlo is not Bivol. All Charlo has to do is just keep him on the outside, like Mikey says, that jab. He's much faster than Canelo. He'll hit him. But what's going to happen, the first 5 rounds, I got Charlo maybe winning 4 out of the 5 rounds. In the 6th round, Canelo's going to time him, and Canelo's going to go after the arms. He's going to hit him so hard, start breaking down the arms. I see Canelo with a body shot, literally just with a hard body shot, and Charlo's not getting up. I got him in the 8th or 9th round, body shot. Or maybe, 8th or 9th round body shot. It's not going to go the 12 rounds. It's not going to go to decision. Canelo's going to time him. But I got Charlo. Everybody's going to be excited because they're going to see Charlo's fast. But Charlo, he's not going to be able to stop being Charlo. Bivol did. Even when Canelo was telling him, come on, come on. Bivol was smart. If Bivol would have gone in, Canelo would have got him. But he never did. When Canelo does that to Charlo, the hood in him is going to say, yeah, and he's going to go in, and that's where Canelo's going to get him. But I see the first 5 rounds, maybe 4 out of the 5 to Charlo. And people are going to be excited. But in the 8th, 9th round, 10th round, like Mikey said, I see Canelo body shot taking him down without a doubt.
I was predicting Canelo by decision. After seeing the weigh-in,
Yeah.
I was changing my mind to say that Canelo stops him. But I'm going to stick with Canelo by decision, and here's why. I think at some point, pretty early in the fight, maybe 4th round, 5th round, I think Charlo is just going to go in survival mode. And he's not even going to try to win the fight. He's just going to tie up a lot, cover up, knowing that he's losing the rounds, knowing that he's losing the fight. And I think it's going to be a little bit of a boring fight. Because he's going to, I think he's going to make it boring. I don't think he's going to try to win. I think maybe for the first 2-3 rounds, he'll probably try to win. But after seeing the weigh-in, and once he starts feeling the power shots and all that, I think he's just going to say to himself, you know what? Let me just make it all the way. Let me just make it all the way.
But Canelo's good at cutting off the ring. I mean, he's very good at cutting off the ring. You don't see him. If this guy's running around, Canelo's chasing, he'll be able to cut off the ring and catch him with a good body shot. You think he could survive 12 rounds running? He's going to have to run, right?
It's possible, but I'm not even saying running. I'm not even saying he's going to run. I'm saying he could just put up the guard. Canelo could throw some chingazos, and then he leaps forward and holds them. I see a pretty, I see a pretty boring fight, man. After
I'll tell you, Ed, if he does that, Canelo's going to tear him up. Canelo's going to tear up those arms. If he does what you're saying, Canelo is going to break his arms because Canelo's just going to that's exactly what Canelo wants, for him to be close. And those power punches, they're going to break him down. I don't think he's going to have a chance after doing this and all of a sudden trying to hug Canelo. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, like I said, gentlemen, this guy he better not catch any of his shots. You know, some fighters, boom, they stay in the pocket or whatever, or even in the inside hugging. And he better not catch those shots. They're gonna hit. They're gonna penetrate. They're gonna hit him. Man, it's gonna be hard. He needs to put out a boxing lesson, keep him in the outside, and yes, you have to hug. Of course, but you can't just hug and hug and hug and hug. He's gonna get to you. It has to be a great boxing lesson. Keep him on the outside, like I said, the jab, the jab, the jab. Does he have it? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Castaño, put a little Castañito, put him in the rings. Imagine a Pitbull, Canelo. He's gonna, man. I don't know, man. Nah.
Hey, Ed, who do you have Canelo fighting next after this fight? After he beats Charlo, who do you have him fighting next?
Probably Terrence Crawford.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I think that's probably what's probably going to end up happening.
And then Benavides?
Yeah, then
Benavides will be the last one.
Benavides, yeah, possibly. But I think the Terrence Crawford thing is actually going to happen. I do believe it actually happens. Hey, I got one more question for you guys. I went ahead and put a poll up and asking all the chingones out there, which fight sells more pay-per-views? The Ryan versus Tank fight or this one? Mikey, I'll start with you. Which pay-per-view which fight sells more pay-per-views? Ryan versus Tank or Canelo Charlo? I'll tell you what. Okay, so we got 22 votes. 45% people said Ryan versus Tank. 55% said Canelo versus Charlo. But if you had to bet, which one do you think is more pay-per-views?
Yeah, it's Ryan versus Tank. I mean, Tank and Ryan were two, and Canelo's just carrying it. I think he's gonna sell though big. He's gonna. I don't think he's gonna surpass Ryan. I mean, and Tank. But if you really think about it, Canelo is just carrying the pay per view. It's just Canelo. It's Charlo's. Uh, they're not really known like Tank and Garcia. Canelo's known international, worldwide, and I don't. I think. Yeah. The Garcia versus Tank is gonna sell. Sold more. Is gonna. Yeah.
David.
You know what? Garcia and Tank, easy. I don't see Canelo. I see them losing on this fight, to be honest with you. I just got back from San Diego. I was over there for 3 weeks, and nobody's excited about it. I mean, here I am with my camaradas from Hawaii. I got a group of camaradas all from Hawaii, and here I am talking about the Canelo fight, dude. They could care less. But yet they wanted to talk about was Ryan and who's Tank fighting next. You know what I mean? And these are the Hawaiians. And with the Chicano, my little Chicano group that I got over there, got together with them. They're like, yeah, it's okay, be okay. Easy win for Canelo. I didn't see that if people, I'm more excited than anybody that I talked to. So I don't see Canelo and this and Charlo being now. If Canelo was fighting Benavides, now we're talking. You know what I mean? But with Charlo, people that I talk to, no. And most of the time when I fly, I'll usually run into somebody. Sometimes I wear that boxing shirt from my camarada boxing. People always stop me. This time, nobody even mentioned the Canelo fight. Usually, people talk boxing. You know what I mean? When I'm getting on the plane or something, pero boxing and chill. That shirt, then no, nadie, nobody. So I don't see it being as big as we think it might be. So I got Ryan and Pitbull selling a lot more.
Ryan and Tank.
Tank
I'm sorry,
selling.
Tank and Ryan.
Tank and Ryan.
Yeah.
Tank and Ryan.
And,
Yeah.
and the lead up to the fight, Ed and Dave, just real quick, there wasn't there was no fighting, nothing. There was
Oh,
nothing behind the scenes and all that. That also counts. And Canelo was nice. I mean, he talked a little trash, but if Charlo should have been all over it, they would have sold more. It would have been more of a ruckus, however you call it. So yeah, they kind of messed up on that too.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
know what? And I agree with Demetrio. Charlos, they're not that popular. I mean, they're popular with remember those guys from the Pendejadas that show
Yeah.
in
Texas.
Texas. But I
Texas.
mean, Texas is a small part of America, Mexico, and everywhere else. Canelo's a one, but the Charlos aren't pushing this fight. I don't see people excited because they're asking who's Charlo. You know?
Yeah, I don't think it sells more than Tank and
No.
Ryan,
Oh no, not even
unfortunately.
close. No.
But with that, chingones, anything else you guys want to throw out there, man, before we wrap it up?
You know what? Two things. On my other show, The Gray Line, the story behind the blue line, next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we have a former Las Vegas Metro Police captain that responded, that was there at the scene when they had that big shootout. They shot like 68 people. I don't know how many people were murdered, were shot. Remember that guy was up in one of the hotels and it was a
Vegas?
mass murder in Vegas. We
Okay.
have captain that was there. He received all kinds of honors for saving lives. I don't know if you guys remember during that incident, there was one individual that stopped the truck and loaded people up and took them to the ambulance, took them
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
hospital. Remember, they were all shot up. He's the guy that did that. And he's
Okay.
going to be, yeah, he's a guy, he's going to be on our show talking. We're going to show videos and pictures. I mean, I was in Vegas speaking at a conference a month ago, and he took me because he was there to exactly where the bodies were. I took a bunch of pictures. We're going to show them. It's going to be a great event. But the event that I'm really excited for is Thursday the 5th, 2 days after Tuesday, our show. We have Boxer Enriquez. He's going to be on our show. This is his first interview since he's been out. He's going to be live on our show.
That's
And
crazy, dude.
I got the two individuals who are legends in law enforcement. I got it's the Devin Hawks. He's a legend. He was an SSU agent, and I have his boss. I have Brian Perry. They were the ones that debriefed Boxer back in, I'll say 93. It's probably 91. They went to Pelican Bay, debriefed him. So our show is called The Debriefing. We're going to start off where they debriefed him at Pelican Bay and where he's at today. And I'll tell you, man, having him on our show, we're gonna have 100,000 easy watching the show. It's gonna be live. that is going to be out of this world. So if
Oh,
you guys
crazy.
get a chance, watch it. He's going to be live, and then these guys were the ones that debriefed him. So I'm really excited. It's going to be a really good show, and that's the night that we're going to be kicking off. I wrote a book, co-wrote a book with 2 other cops on police suicides. It's called When the Music Stops, the Pain Begins, and that's the night that we're kicking off the books. They're going to be able to buy it on Amazon. But on the 5th, we're excited on both shows. So if you guys get a chance, watch both shows. You're not going to regret it. JC watches it all the time.
Yeah.
JC, if you're watching, thank you. He's always there, and I'm always throwing him a thumbs up. He's a big fan of our show. Thank you very much for watching it.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and check out that channel. They're doing some really good work out there. Pomona, we'll go ahead and leave it
Yeah,
linked
put the link
in the
if you
comment
can.
section. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Angel Alicia Keys. Yeah, Alicia. Yeah, he's asking a question off topic. But anyway, with that, Chingones and Chingonas, you guys enjoy the fights tomorrow. I think it's going to be a lot of great fights. The main event, I think, is going to be so-so. But nonetheless,
guys,
I'm excited.
Before we leave, are you guys want to go live tomorrow during the fight?
I'm gonna have a fight party. I'm gonna have people over here. So
what about you, Mikey? You want to go live? So because a lot of people can't afford it, and we could actually be calling it from our house. Do you want to go live?
If I don't go to my cousin's house, I'm down, but I'm down to go after. Worst comes to worst, after the fight.
A lot of people are watching it, and we could actually be calling it. Let me know. Let me know either way, because after it's 2:00 over here in the morning.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
If you want to go live, let me know. I'd love to go live with you. All right.
Okay.
Gracias.
Okay, I'm down. Yeah, I'll let you know.
all right, man. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing this. So we come back and do it again. Los Tres Chingones Boxing. We'll catch you guys on the next round.